Welcome back to Notes from the Shelf, where every book finds its reader. I'm Sarah, and I just saw Book of the Month has dropped 2 days early, so let's get into them. Seems like there's 5 options. Oh, Return to Cinder. Okay, we'll get there. I think I'm gonna make that mine though. Okay. First option, The Three Graces of Pearl Street. This is a debut and early release by Elizabeth Wellington Rollins. It's a contemporary fiction. I love that cover. I think it's so pretty. Charming chaos ensues when a fall from grace lands 3 generations of feisty Italian-American women in the same home. So this comes out September 1st, so definitely be getting it pretty early. It's a romance, multiple viewpoints, 400 plus pages, and mama drama. In this wise and warm debut novel, an Italian-American grandmother, daughter, and granddaughter, all named after the Roman myth of the Three Graces, find their lives and their secrets colliding when, after years apart, they come to live under the same roof. Graziella, a 96-year-old former nun, spends her days running the parish's food kitchen, convinced it is her responsibility to keep everyone fed in their working-class New York neighborhood. Her daughter, Grace, a respected psychology professor, appears accomplished and composed, yet finds herself unmoored as her personal life falters. Ella, Graziella's granddaughter and Grace's daughter, is weary of defending her vegan diet and anti-capitalistic lifestyle. Blind to her own brilliance, she longs above all for a place to belong. Living together again, the Three Graces reckon with the distances that have shaped them and with what it means at last to be fully known. Does have content warnings. It contains mentions of infertility and the death of a child. That seems fun. Seems like a fun book. The Three Graces. I love that they kind of have different names off of Grace. I don't know. I wonder how old the granddaughter is. Her vegan lifestyle and anti-capitalistic lifestyle. I love that. I think I could see reading that for sure. I don't know if I want to make that my main pick though. Also, it said romance. I'm not sure how it's going to have romance in it. Next option is a fantasy, The Poisoned Daughter by Sheila Masterson. This is an early release. It says kill him with a kiss on the cover. Is this a retelling? She was born with the magical kiss of death, the only man it's failed to kill, the enemy she's forced to marry. So someone kisses her and she dies, but then literally the only person who has not done that is the enemy. This says it's gruesome, and it is an early release. It comes out August 18th, so a little bit early if you pick this one. 400 plus pages, another long one. Extra spicy, multiple viewpoints, and romantasy. Extra spicy, but also gruesome. I'm intrigued. Every person Harlow Caronwell kisses dies immediately, and that's the way she likes it. That's crazy. The poison-lipped youngest daughter of Luna Maid's magical founding family has used her power to annihilate their opposition. Her first husband is in the ground. Her new betrothed is next. But the Merry Widow has a secret. When she's not acting as an assassin at her parents' whims, she moonlights as a vigilante for abused women in their walled-off city. Meet a man, lure him in, kill him with a kiss. Until one night, Harlow kisses a mark and he doesn't die. That's kind of crazy. I do like that she's a vigilante, though, and just kiss him and then he dies. That's crazy. Worse, her invincible partner in passion is her new betrothed, Henry Havenwood, and now he knows about her double life. Instead of selling her out and bringing the rival families to blows, he does something much more sinister, whisks her away to wed in his wild mountain fort. Harlow doesn't trust Henry, but the only way to protect her family in the city of Lunamaid is to figure out what his family is planning. Cursed with a husband she can't kill and trapped in a fort miles of vampire-infested woods from home, Harlow's survival requires her to do the impossible. Make the man who knows she's a killer fall in love with her anyway. Vampire-infested woods. So there's some different creatures in this book 2. It does contain mentions of domestic violence between Harlow and Henry. I also find it interesting that they both start with H names. I've heard when you write a book that can get confusing for people, but those seem different enough, probably. I don't know, I am interested, but I don't know if I would make it my book of the month pick. Next option is Heart of Glass by Jennifer Hillier. This is a repeat author, and this is also an early release. A lot of early releases this month. This is a thriller. I love that cover too. She's like in water, or she's above water. Her reflection in water. It's a little spooky. A brutal murder, a swift confession. 25 years later, the past resurfaces when a new light illuminates an old truth. So this comes out August 25th, so this is pretty early release as well. Multiple viewpoints. All of these have had multiple viewpoints as well. Interesting. Female friendships, nonlinear timeline, and creepy. It does look creepy. 25 years ago in Seaside, Washington, a charming drifter named Sam met 3 inseparable teenage girls at the local amusement park. Days later, one of them was found dead, her body surfacing in a flooded cranberry bog not far from where she was murdered. In a cranberry bog. Yikes. Barb and Nicolette were shocked to learn that the man they all met at Wonderland was the Carnival Killer. I do like that name. Carnival Killer. How old were these girls? Teenagers. Sad. After he's arrested for the murders of 5 young women, one of whom was their best friend, Lorelei, Nicolette moved to the city to pursue her dreams of being famous. Barb stayed behind in Seaside, eventually becoming a reporter for the local paper. Their past safely behind them, they've both moved on with their lives. But when the Carnival Killer recants his confession and a new body washes ashore on the eve of Wonderland's grand reopening, the secrets that Barb and Nicolette have worked so hard to bury begin to resurface, threatening to destroy everything in their carefully constructed lives. So do they have to do with their friend's killer or killing? Interesting. Any content? Yes. There are content warnings. Contains mentions of sexual assault and miscarriage. Yeah, what are they hiding that they know about? And one's a reporter, so she's going to bury the story. I don't know, I'm interested in this too. This sounds intriguing. A lot of these sound really good this month. Next option is Return to Cinder, which is by Stephanie Parente, and it's a debut. I think that's how you say it, or it's just Parent. I like Parente better, but we'll see. It's a romance. What does that say? I swear I thought I read it already. The road to Mr. Soulmate. Just read to her. What? I don't know. I'm not sure what the cover says. I tried. This heartwarming road trip romance explores grief, unlikely connections, and love as a journey, not the destination. I thought this already came out. This looks so familiar already as a book of the month. I'm a little confused. Emotional, interesting. Road trip, salacious, and siblings. Violet is usually an optimist, but between her father's sudden death and the overnight responsibility of caring for her rebellious teenage sister Phoebe, she's barely holding it together. Then Phoebe discovers a love letter, never delivered and returned to the sister's address, begging its recipient to give him another chance. Phoebe seems excited for the first time since their dad died, and Violet will do anything to keep that smile on her face. Together, they set out to find the letter's author, hoping to rectify a derailed happily ever after. Despite Dex being rather abrasive, valid, and more than a little enigmatic, intriguing, Phoebe talks him into a cross-country road trip to put the letter in the right hands. Is he the neighbor or something? Violet is thrilled to see Phoebe thriving again. With every pit stop, they chip away at Dex's moody exterior, and Violet realizes she might like what lies beneath, a lot. But what happens when they finally reach their destination and Dex's ex-girlfriend? Is what they've discovered on the road strong enough to make it back home? Oh, is he the guy that wrote the letter? I'm confused how they find Dex. So he wrote the letter to his ex-girlfriend and then it got sent back to him, but then somehow they get the letter. I am confused by that. I feel like I've said this before. I don't know. No content warnings. This was on my anticipated reading list, I thought, for the year. Maybe that's why it looks so familiar. So I might get this. It is a romance, though, which I have kind of stopped reading a lot, but we'll see. Last main pick option is Meet Me in the Garden by Nina LaCour, and she's a repeat author. Historical fiction. I love this cover too, the like painting style. This immersive family saga explores love, legacy, and learning to be your truest self no matter the cost. Has family drama, literary, LGBTQ plus themes, and salacious. New Orleans, 1944. Odette has always been one of the honor sisters, I guess, glamorous and admired in the Creole community. But while Odette's older sisters are content to be wives and mothers, Odette has always wanted something else. It is only with her beloved cousin Delphine that Odette can tell her secret. She is in love with a woman and she longs to be an artist. Oh. Right before the Warrens, too. Delphine has a secret lover too, a white man. Ooh. A white man. All I can think of is from New Girl. In the hidden garden they've discovered, Odette and Delphine can dream of futures full of passion and freedom. But 5 years later, Odette's life is nothing like what she's planned. She's a widowed mother living in Los Angeles, and she and Delphine, who is passing as white, have spiraled away from each other. Oh. When Delphine reaches a breaking point, Odette must make a shattering choice to try to hold her family together. It does have a content warning. It contains mentions of miscarriage and infertility. I don't know, that sounds really good. It says repeat author, but usually it says what they've written before and it's not there, so maybe it's sold out or something. I don't know, I'm having a bit of a hard time. I like the Three Graces of Pearl Street. The Poison Daughter does sound very interesting, but I don't know if I want to buy it. Heart of Glass sounds interesting, and I read thrillers a little bit more. Return to Cinder was on my list. And then Meet Me in the Garden, though, still sounds interesting. So I'm kind of torn. But let's check out the new. Oh, yeah, the offset. Hello Limerence by Momo Yamaguchi. This is a debut and an early release. They have so many early releases. I like the cover, kind of. That's kind of crazy. So this is just askew, not full tilt. So just dip your toe in it. This one's for the people who swear they don't give a fuck but are split open by bottomless want. Virginity freshly conquered, Mika is on a dizzying carousel of vice. Sex, alcohol, hyperfixation meals, shopping, and emotionally unavailable men. Weird, psychedelic, and sometimes nauseating, Hello Limerence is a multicolored romp through after-hours Tokyo. From the POV of a Gen Z salarywoman with questionable social skills and a screen time problem. Read if you seek an irreverent peek into the highs and horrors of dating in your 20s, or if you've ever regretted a risky text. I don't know if I need to read this. I lived this, basically. The highs and horrors of dating in your 20s. I'm not that far away from that. I've lived it already. I don't know if I need to read it. The Gen Z perspective could be interesting because I am a millennial, but I'm not that far off from Gen Z either. So I don't know if I would read this. I would read it, I feel like. I don't know if I'd buy it. But it is early release. A lot of early releases this month. So it comes out August 18th. Thought provoking with THOT. That's crazy. Omurice. Love omurice and Tokyo Nights. See, I do love the Japan theme, like the setting. So I don't know. I am intrigued by that. But let's see what the other books are. I think there was another Centennial as well, which I'll find later. Let's look at the new add-ons. So, 6 new add-ons, actually, more than the total options. First one is The Project by Annie Lord, a contemporary fiction. I don't really like this cover, actually. Something about it, I really don't like it. Sick of Hinge? Look no further. These two best friends believe they can turn even the unlikeliest suitor into the one. Romance, salacious, female friendships, and coming of age. When 26-year-old Daisy wakes up next to James Stanley, she can't believe what she's done. She slept with James, the most boorish boy she knows, the black sheep of their friendship group. Ooh, part of the friendship group? Oh no. Someone who once told her that he'd never cried in his entire life and sounded proud of it. Gross. But sleeping with James is a casualty of a much larger problem. There is not a decent single man to be found in London. At least that's what Daisy and her best friend Maya think. All the good ones are taken. Even the average, not so good men have beautiful, educated, and accomplished girlfriends with perfect hip to waist ratios. Where have all the good men gone? Fed up with the dating scene, Daisy and Maya decide to stop waiting and take matters into their own hands with The Project. Their goal? To build the perfect eligible match out of some of the most lackluster raw material. And who better to start with than their embarrassingly uncivilized yet frustratingly attractive friend, James? Oh my god. This sounds like a disaster. Embarking on a series of social and cultural lessons from art exhibitions to feminist book clubs, designer clothing stores to house parties, Daisy and Maya chaperone James on a journey of discovery. But which of them will change more? Yeah, this sounds like a recipe for disaster. Next new add-on is Maggie and Arthur's Magic Moment by Leslie Renee. This is a romance and it's a debut. I don't know. They just look like Harry Potter and Hermione. He really looks like Harry Potter. That's kind of crazy. When two professors hit the spellbooks to fix a magical misstep, their long-standing chemistry becomes unavoidable. Oh, professors. 400 plus pages, salacious, multiple viewpoints, and a romantasy. Despite the college's budget cuts that slashed her syllabus, linguistics and incantation translation professor Maggie Linden has almost made it to the end of the spring semester. To celebrate, Maggie attends a magical masquerade on Beltane. Maybe the end-of-year frenzy explains why she kissed a masked stranger at the festival, though her celebration may have come too soon. An accident in the lab of famous and famously broody alchemist Arthur Taliesin sets loose a dangerous, haunting magic called a pall that renders the nicer parts of their academic building uninhabitable. Of course, he's broody. Maggie is assigned to share her tiny basement office with none other than Taliesin himself. With his insufferable attitude and unfortunate good looks, Arthur makes it impossible for Maggie to concentrate on anything. Her research, her students' final exams, or tracking down her mysterious Beltane suitor. It was him, obviously. She'll do anything to get Arthur out of her office, including offering to help him reverse the magic that threatens the school. But Maggie is starting to realize her office mate may not be the conceited grump he pretends to be. In fact, much of what she thinks is true about Arthur is merely a mask. You see what they did there? That's funny. He's obviously the masked guy that she made out with. I don't know. I'm probably not going to pick this one. Oh, The Good Parts. This was on my list too. Oh, what? It's sold out already? It was just added, wasn't it? The Good Parts by Evan Normandin is a debut in magical realism. What does it say? She erased their past, he's rewriting their future. How is it already sold out if it was just added for August? That doesn't make any sense. If you could take a pill that wiped your worst memories, would you? Even if it meant forgetting your greatest love. This is emotional, non-linear timeline, multiple viewpoints, and salacious. There have been a lot with multiple viewpoints. I can't believe it's sold out. I wanted this. Oh my god. Okay. She erased their past, he's rewriting their future. When Landon receives a letter from Rose, the woman he once planned forever with, he learns their love story is over. She's undergone a radical memory erasing treatment, leaving behind her grief, her past, and him. But Landon can't bear to lose the love of his life. If she fell for him once, couldn't she fall for him again? Now living in Edinburgh, is it Edinburgh or Edinburgh? I think it's Edinburgh. Rosa's world is a blank canvas, and she's dating someone new. When Landon re enters her life as a stranger, they become fast friends, their lives intertwining once more. But what Rose doesn't know is that this new friend carries the weight of everything they once shared, their firsts, their marriage, and the heartbreak they barely survived. And when she starts exhibiting strange symptoms, it becomes clear their history isn't gone, it's just buried. And remembering could come at a devastating cost. Yeah, so what happened that she felt like she had to totally erase her memories and him? The book contains scenes depicting suicidal ideation and the death of a child. Yeah, I would say they probably did lose a child, and then she just couldn't take it, and she had to erase everything, even like their marriage together, which is sad. This has to be a glitch, right? That it's sold out already? That doesn't make any sense. It just dropped today from what I saw. I checked yesterday, and it wasn't out yet. Oh my gosh. Next option is Fishbone Cinderella by Elizabeth Lim. Is historical fiction. This I also saw coming out. Fairy tale meets generational epic in this story of Asian American immigration, Chinese fables, and the magic of family. 400 plus pages, nonlinear timeline, multiple viewpoints once again, interesting, and graphic violence. That's kind of crazy. 1940s Hong Kong. When Japanese soldiers invade her hometown, Ha Yue-ying makes an unlikely escape by turning invisible. Oh, that's cool. But her miraculous survival is only the beginning. After the war is over, she's sent to Hong Kong to live with her distant father and glamorous stepmother, who end her dreams of becoming a singer and turn her into the family's servant. Oh, sad. As the years pass, Ying learns the hard truths of betrayal and ambition, of forbidden love and devastating loss, and discovers that sometimes the only way to endure is to disappear. So, is this like a power she only has, or is there like magic in the world? 1960s San Francisco. Marigold has always had a knack for uncovering secrets, but nothing prepares her for the day she accidentally witnesses her mother vanish before her eyes. Oh. So I think it's just her then. The moment fractures their bond, leaving questions that shadow her entire childhood. But when her mother's condition suddenly deteriorates, Marigold is convinced she's the only person who can save her. To do so, she must journey into the secrets her mother never shared and uncover the tragic fairy tale tinged history their family has fought to forget. It does have content warnings. It contains scenes depicting child abuse. It does sound interesting. I'm not sure I want to buy it though. The Shadows That Listen by Louisa Carmody, fantasy, says the angels aren't here to save us. That's interesting. It's a debut and an early release. Another early release. She's an agent protecting humanity. He's an angel who doesn't care to save it. Can a dangerous quest make them allies? So it comes out August 18th, so you would be getting it a little bit early. It's the first in a series. Enemies to Lovers, Salacious, and Romantasy. Love Enemies to Lovers. First in a series, though. I'd like to know how long this series is going to be. It's been 5 years since the world was brought to its knees by an immortal war. Daemons. Every time I see it spelled like that, I always like daemons. But it's demons crawled from the depths of hell, and the sky bled gold as the angels arrived. The sky bled gold? That would be wild. Humanity thought it was saved, but the angels did not come to protect us. Amara is a human warrior working for the Angel Intelligence Agency. That's funny. She spends her days searching for those who don't make it home after curfew. But when her boyfriend Jeremy goes missing, she decides to venture into the shadows to bring him back, even if it means death. Nathaniel is an archangel tasked with leading the destruction of humanity, for which he cares little. He doesn't have time to protect little humans running around in the dark, especially those who stab him in the stomach. I could see not aliens, angels. I could see angels acting like that for sure. But Nathaniel and Amara will soon realize they share a foe, one that lurks in the shadows and stalks them from the skies. She might long to kill him, but Amara knows that having an angel at her side is the only way she'll survive. Yeah. No content warnings. That's a little crazy. I don't know. I need to see how many books will be in the series. It's probably duology, right? I'll look later. Next option, last new option is The Unknown by Riley Sager, which is a thriller. I don't know about his writing sometimes. I do like this cover a lot, but sometimes it's been hit or miss. When a movie crew visits the site of century-old disappearances, haunting parallels manifest between past and present. Look at that, multiple viewpoints, nonlinear timeline. So many of these books have both of these. Creepy and island. Ooh, an island. Struggling actress Maren Keene is shocked when she lands a role in a major motion picture about the unsolved mystery of New Avalon, an island on sprawling Lake Faraday in Vermont. She's even more surprised when she learns that the role requires a week-long research trip to that very spot. Because New Avalon isn't your ordinary island. A century ago, it was a commune for spiritual mediums, until they all vanished in 1926. Creepy. The only trace of them was 5 dresses hanging from the branches of an old oak tree in the middle of the island, one for each missing woman. That is really creepy. Oh my god. Some locals say they simply left. Others think they were murdered. But the prevailing opinion, thanks to a diary left behind by one of the vanished, a young woman named Daisy Rue, is that a seance gone wrong conjured something supernatural that took them all one by one. Not long after arriving, Maren and her castmates, including legendary actress Violet Wright and white-hot director Ronan Peters, begin to realize all is not right with New Avalon. You think? You think? It's only been abandoned forever and purportedly haunted. They hear strange noises in the night and notice mysterious symbols left behind by the island's previous occupants. And after a sudden health emergency leaves Maren, Ronan, and the other actors stranded on the island, the disappearances begin again. Oh my god. I could definitely see liking this book. Is it the work of someone trying to derail the movie? Or is the island's alleged supernatural past catching up with the present? As fear and suspicion mount, Maren turns to Daisy's diary, hoping it holds the key to figuring out what really happened to the women of New Avalon, and how to keep the island's terrible history from repeating itself. It does have a content warning. It contains mentions of suicide. I don't know, that sounds really good. But again, like Riley Sager, sometimes I don't like his writing style. I'd have to read the little like sample, but I don't know. Those are all of the new things. I was gonna see about the new centennial. How do I find that? I don't know. I read that there was. Oh, there it is. That wasn't there before, was it? Okay, so new centennial edition is In Cold Blood, which is 1966 by Truman Capote. Hmm. Is this? Let's see. Read the synopsis. On November 15th, 1959, in the small town of Holcomb, Kansas, 4 members of the Clutter family were savagely murdered by blasts from a shotgun held a few inches from their faces. Wow. There was no apparent motive for the crime, and there were almost no clues. In one of the first nonfiction novels ever written, Truman Capote reconstructs the murder and the investigation that led to the capture, trial, and execution of the killers, generating both mesmerizing suspense and astonishing empathy. In Cold Blood is a work that transcends its moment, yielding poignant insights into the nature of American violence. One of the first nonfiction novels ever written? Really? In 1966? I kind of don't think so. That seems insane. That's a crazy story. If it was unsolved, I would get it so I could talk about it on the podcast. But since it's solved, I could see reading it, but I don't think I need to get this edition of it. So those are all the options. I don't know. I'm really having a hard time with the main selection. I think I'm going to have to read the sample of all of these and see where I'm at because I could see getting any of these 5. But let me know what your thoughts are. If you are going to get any of these or you're going to skip for the month, and any of the add-ons that you're thinking of adding or skipping as well. And if you haven't already, go check out my full blog, notesfromtheshelf.com. I post there twice a week. I know the YouTube I've been a little bit more lax on, only posting like the book of the month and maybe one other video. But the blog has a lot more, so it's 2 posts every week. And then I also have a podcast, Notes from the Shelf podcast, and that can be found anywhere that you listen to podcasts. But that is a new episode every Wednesday at 7 a.m. So that's more consistent than my YouTube right now. So go check those out if you are interested. And until next time, happy reading.